amend to increase the penalty failure to surrender an eligibility certificate within 5 days after it's been revoked. There's a lot of
Maybe we can interrupt.
Yeah.
A lot of these things are already on the books already. I mean, you know you can't sell something to somebody illegally. We have these laws already.
Right.
You know, and you know, here your meeting originally was tonight for our budget, our fiscal conservative. This is going to cost more money for things that we already do anyway. And as far as the hunting, you can go take a hunter's safety course, buy a gun with a permit without a waiting period. If you have to buy a gun, there's a waiting period. We already have that in this state. You're not proposing anything new or anything that's going to change or would have changed Newtown. So, you know, we want to lead the way. Let's lead the way and do something that's really responsible.
Hold on, this gentleman is
See, everybody is jumping forward because Newtown happened, so we have to do something, okay? Has anybody ever really, I don't know, I'm not picking on you guys, but has anyone ever really read the Second Amendment? Yes, you have. Have you ever gone into the Federalist Papers, all right, and read what the Founding Fathers said about the Second Amendment, all right? There is no doubt that it has nothing to do with hunting or target shooting. It has to do with taking on a tyrannical government. Now, a lot of people today don't want to hear that. Oh, how could this happen? Well, for the last 4 years plus, I've watched Obama tear this Constitution to shreds. Okay? I have it for you two fellas to read. I did some research on the internet concerning the countries that have lately, let's say in the last 10, 15 years, imposed gun control. In every case, it was because it was a major catastrophe like Newtown. Okay? Australia, Canada, and England. I got the information and I wanted to find out what the people in their government said about how it worked out after 10 years. It was a complete failure in every single situation. Complete failure. Gun deaths are up in all 3 places, okay? Rape in Australia is up 3 times as much as it was, all right? And as a sidelight, I read a story about a grandmother in Australia. She had a 9mm pistol, but she never turned it in. Her granddaughter got raped by 2 guys. She found out who they were, made sure she knew that they were the right guys, and she went to where they were living and they shot them both in the crotch. Then she turned her gun in. Okay? You read the Federalist Papers about the constitutional rights of the people in the Second Amendment. There's only one reason it was there. You train yourselves, you get yourselves armed against a tyrannical government. Okay? I want an M16, selective fire. Obama in 2008 talked about his own personal army, as well funded and as well armed as the U.S. military. He has it now. It's called the DHS, Department of Homeland Security. They have purchased 7,000 selective firearms. That's a military weapon. We have semi-automatics. Now, if I'm going to go up against a guy that has a full automatic, I want a full automatic. Okay? They bought 2 billion pistol bullets, and they have a standing order for $1.5 million a year for the next 5 years. For what? That's his army. Okay? That's his army. That's what they're going to do. They're going to stuff us because this guy is a tyrant. All right? You people have to look back at what the Constitution says. If they want to change the Second Amendment, then amend it. You don't have to do something. All right? What you have to do is, I'll give you 3 things you've got to do. One is cut the welfare, portion of the welfare that says, if you're an unwed mother, you get a stipend. Some of you guys may know Brian Maloney. He lives on Orchard Avenue, or Old Town Farm Road in Woodbury. Was a state cop for 25 years. Arrests a guy that came up from South Carolina. He came up from South Carolina because Connecticut wasn't going to have any residency requirement for welfare. He had 5 women impregnated, 8 children, and every month he went around and got his cut. Well, where the hell do you think these kids are when they're 14, 15, and 16 with no father? You look at I went through this for 2 months. I'm sorry to take so much time. I went through this for 2 months, all right? And I looked in the Waterbury paper, only the Waterbury paper, as to the criminals. Where were they happening? In the cities. Who were they? Illegal aliens. We got a mayor down there in New Haven who has the sanctuary city. He should have been fired. Who the hell's letting him do that? That's against the law. All right? It's city after city. They had a map. It was Connecticut all black. Where it's lightest is where all the crime is. Bridgeport, Hartford, New Haven, Waterbury. All right? You're wasting your time. Welfare is one problem. The criminal justice system, last week there's a guy, black guy, he ends up killing. Let me finish this, because I'm sick and tired of this crap. Everybody wants to shut you off, and this is a major issue in this country. All right? He kills his son with a bar, kills him, sleeping in his bed, and shoots the mother. Of course, he had 5 kids by 5 other mothers, too. 30 years in jail. He got out in 2011. All right? He's threatening some woman and stalking her. She says to the cops, he says to her, if you tell the cops, I'm going to do what I did to my son 20 years ago, whenever it was. What the hell is this? You're wasting your time here. We are the law-abiding citizens, and every time these dudes get into a jam, it's against some law-abiding citizen. And what's the attack over Newtown now? Oh, the gun did it. Guns don't do those things. All right? I have material for you that this is all outlined in. But come on, you guys got to stand up. This is a bunch of baloney. All right? You don't have to do something. You have to follow the Constitution. That's what you have to do. All right? And it may be hard, and you might get voted out, but you've got to follow the Constitution, which, of course, the federal government doesn't do either.
Let me ask a question. Is there anyone here who doesn't want to talk about Newtown or guns or the Second Amendment? Because it seems like we may go a while on this conversation. So if you want